Have you ever faced failure and felt overwhelmed by the sting of disappointment? It's a feeling that lingers, much like a wound that refuses to heal. But what if I told you that failure, much like pain, is an inevitable part of life? And more importantly, what if there was a way to face it without letting it destroy your peace of mind? Over 2,500 years ago, the Buddha taught his disciples a profound lesson using a simple yet powerful analogy: the parable of the two arrows. It's a story that can change how we view our struggles today. One day, the Buddha gathered his disciples and explained, "Imagine a person who is struck by an arrow. The pain from this arrow is sharp and immediate. This is the first arrow, representing the inevitable pains of life: loss, failure, illness, disappointment. These are things we cannot always control. They are part of the human experience." The disciples listened closely, trying to grasp the meaning. The Buddha continued, "But imagine that after being struck by this first arrow, the person shoots a second arrow into themselves. This second arrow is not caused by external forces, but by the mind. It represents the anger, blame, self-pity, and endless what-ifs that we inflict on ourselves. It's the mental suffering we add on top of the physical pain." The disciples were puzzled and asked, "Master, how can we avoid the second arrow?" The Buddha replied, "By practicing mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without attachment. When pain arises, we acknowledge it without adding layers of mental suffering. We simply let it be. This is how we avoid shooting the second arrow." In our daily lives, this teaching holds great relevance. Think about a time when you faced failure, missing a deadline, failing an exam, or losing a job. The first arrow is the actual event, the initial sting of disappointment. But the second arrow is the self-criticism, the overthinking, and the blame that we heap onto ourselves. This second arrow is optional, yet it often causes the most pain. By recognizing and letting go of these negative thoughts, we can reduce our suffering. This doesn't mean ignoring the lessons that failure brings, but rather not allowing those thoughts to control us. It's about facing failure with mindfulness and self-compassion, acknowledging the first arrow and consciously choosing not to shoot the second. Here are some practical steps to apply the Buddha's teaching. Pause and reflect. When failure strikes, take a moment to pause. Observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. Focus on the present. Instead of replaying the past, focus on what you can do now. Redirect your energy into constructive action. Let go. Acknowledge the pain. Learn the lesson and let go. You don't have to carry the burden of self-blame. The Buddha's lesson on the two arrows teaches us that while the first arrow of life's challenges is often unavoidable, the second arrow is within our control. By refusing to shoot the second arrow, we empower ourselves to move forward with resilience and peace. So, the next time you face failure, remember, you have the choice to let go. Thank you for watching. If you found this message helpful, consider subscribing for more insights on how ancient wisdom can transform our modern lives. And remember, peace begins with you.